the first book the first book I read... Hello everybody, it's Kristen here. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be bringing you guys my March wrap up. Like I always do, I'm going to show you the books that I read and tell you what I rated them, and then go into more detail later on in the video. So the first book I read in March was The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Barnhill, and I gave this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. Next, I read The Magicians Nephew, which is number 1 in the chronological order of Chronicles of Narnia, but it is number 6 published. I gave that book 5 out of 5 stars. And then I read Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, and I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. And then finally, I read The Children's Home by Charles Lambert, and I gave this 2 out of 5 stars. Let's just start right from the beginning. So the first book I read, The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Barnhill. This was a middle grade fantasy book. Krista from Books&Jams and Katie from LifeBetweenWords did a readathon called Middle Grade March. And so basically it was all about reading middle grade books throughout the month of March. Some other booktubers here messaged me and were like, hey, do you want to buddy read a middle grade book for the month? And all of us, which was Kelsey from Hardback Haven, Lisa from Lisa and Things, and Katie from Girl About Library, we all were like, yes, let's buddy read a book. We read The Girl Who Drank the Moon, and we all really, really enjoyed it. So that was for middle grade March. This book was actually a Newbery Award winner, and I can see why it got awards. It was so good. It was so magical, so fantastical, and the creatures you meet and the characters you meet just have such character about them. So this book follows a young girl named Luna, and the setting of the book is there is this town that is scared of this witch that lives in the forest. Every year, one day a year, they put a baby in the forest for the witch to take as a kind of sacrifice. One year, Luna is this baby. But actually, twist of the story, there are a lot of twists in the story. The witch is actually good and takes care of Luna and basically enmagics her with the light of the moon. That's already a really cool setting for a book. This book just was amazing. The way I like to describe it is it was chaos through the whole book right up until the end. But it wasn't bad chaos. It was really good. It was just a whole bunch of loose threads that tied up beautifully in the end. Really enjoyed this book, and everyone else who buddy read it with me really enjoyed this book. So that was the first book I read in March. And then the next book I read was The Magicians Nephew by C.S. Lewis. This is number 6 in the publication order. If you guys have been following me for a bit, you know that I'm reading through the Chronicles of Narnia in publication order instead of chronological. Now, I have read the books chronologically, and that's probably, I would say that's the best way to read it. I wanted to try publication order, and it's interesting to see how C.S. Lewis develops, but I don't know. I'm not going to read it in publication order again, because The Magician's Nephew, which is book number 6 published, is actually book number 1 in the chronological order of Narnia. It's the best book so far. I love it. 5 out of 5 stars. It's all about the creation of Narnia and how that all started. I just loved it so much, the adventure that the children went on, and it was just fantastic. Like I said, next I read Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, and I love all the Harry Potter books. This is my first time rereading them, and it's just so magical and enjoyable to read. Even though this guy is the biggest book of them all, it still kind of keeps you engaged. It did take me a long time to read this particular book, because I did start it, I think, like 2 months ago, and then I read 200 pages and put it down and picked up another book, Book Lover's Problems, and then I came back to it and I just flew through the end. So you love the story, even though there's some characters that you hate, Professor Umbridge. That's okay, because you love Harry, although Harry is pretty moody in this book, which it kind of gets annoying, but whatever. It just, in the end, it's just emotions. So many emotions when reading this. And then the last book I read in the month of March was The Children's Home by Charles Lambert. Like I said, I gave this 2 out of 5 stars. I didn't like it. It was an interesting story idea. What attracted me to this book is that it said it kind of was like a twisted modern fairy tale version of things like the Chronicles of Narnia and the Golden Compass. It sounds really interesting, but it just was creepy. Like, I don't like when children are creepy. I just don't. You didn't not like the children, but they were just creepy in moments. So the premise of this book is there's this man who lives kind of in this big mansion, and suddenly these children start appearing in his home. He doesn't really question why. He just accepts them into his home. He starts caring for them with the housekeeper. The book kind of revolves around where did the children come from? Where are they going? What's going on? It's also kind of about the love that this man shows to the children and how it kind of redeems his soul. I didn't really enjoy it. I thought it was written well, but I didn't like it. So 2 out of 5 stars. But it was an interesting experience. So that is all the books I read in March. I read a total of 4 books. A total of 4 books in March. So that's a pretty good success for me. Let me know what your favorite book you read in the month of March was. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Give this video a big thumbs up. Click subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye!